Okay, I decided to start a little series. It's pretty low budget right now. I'm just doing it with my little outline in the background. I'm probably never going to do video vlogs, but I thought this would be a way to sort of vlog without putting myself on camera. But I wanted to talk about, I don't know if you ever go through, you turn on Netflix and you don't know what you want to watch. So I thought I would start doing like a weekly review of the shows that I liked on Netflix during the previous week. So what I was going to go over is first the TV show that I have been binge watching lately. It's taken me about 2 months, can't talk, to get through. That was Grey's Anatomy. And I had seen episodes, bits and pieces on television over the years, but I decided a couple of months ago to sit down and really watch the show from beginning to end before season 12 started. I didn't quite get it done before season 12, but I got it done probably a week after. And what I'll say is I fell in love with the show, obviously, being willing to watch, like, I think it was 245 episodes. And I mean, it was like nearly the only thing I watched from like 2 solid months. I love the characters. I know it's a bit overdramatic at times, but I think the stories serve a purpose, and I like the show, and I like that it can be funny and dramatic, and the cast is, it's one of those ensemble casts where they do a good job of developing everyone. It's not just single star sort of show. I like that they try to do some, move the show around a little bit. They don't just stay on, a sitcom stage, or, the show's got some variety to it visually. And all I can say is, without saying a whole lot about, in case you haven't seen the show yet, the last part of season 11 made me cry and cry and cry, the last 4 episodes. And all I can say is that, and I had kind of lost interest with season 10 and 11. So they keep removing characters that I really like, and I know that they probably do that for a number of reasons to keep the show interesting and all of that, but they keep taking my favorite characters off the show, and it makes me kind of, sometimes for a while, even though, like, lots of people, I pretty much like everyone on the show, but, like, I always like them all, but, like, I like some more than others, and I think every time they take one of my favorites off, though, it's like, I might feel a little disappointed for a while, and I don't know, I know other people probably have said that, but anyway, that was the show that I binged watched. I don't know, I just have a tendency to, like, fall in love with the TV show and watch it from beginning to end, and I like to do it. Like, I came into The Walking Dead late. I didn't start watching Walking Dead until season 3, and, well, yeah, I think it was about season 3 when I started watching that show, and I didn't mind watching the first 3 seasons, or most of the first 2 seasons plus most of season 3 in sort of a binge watching fashion. It may have even been, we didn't go into that one until season 4, so, like, I kind of like being able to watch the show all at once instead of having to wait every week like everyone else, or go through the breaks. So that's kind of the story behind why I binge watch TV shows. And I just wanted to mention that my favorite movie, I wish I could show the visuals for this, but I don't really want to. I'm kind of worried about putting actual artwork from these shows or anything on the video. I'm afraid that will be considered something that you're not supposed to do, so until I find out otherwise, I'm just going to go with my notes. But anyway, my favorite movie that I saw this last week was Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. and that one has Keira Knightley, and I can't remember his name, but he's in The Office, the American Office, and he's hilarious, and he's in a ton of movies, and I can't think of his name. But anyway, that's a cute movie. It's funny, it's sad, but it's a little bit, oh, I don't know, cynical, and I like it because of that. I watch a lot of documentaries, so I will recommend, and Netflix seems to be kind of heavy on those, at least in my suggested viewing, so I'll mention some of those. The 3 that I noticed this week that I liked were Bigger Than T-Rex, A Sloth Named Velcro, and Secrets of the Tower of London, and those were the 3 notable documentaries that I saw this week, and I would say those were all worth watching. I would say they're the kind that you could almost rewatch. I think A Sloth Named Velcro was the cutest because it was about a lady who adopted a baby sloth and had to learn how to take care of him during the Panama Canal animal relocation project, and that may not be the official name, but that was basically what they were doing, is relocating the poor little animals, you know, after they were building the Panama Canal expansion project. So, and what I have been watching outside of Netflix, we do not have cable. I don't think the only reason I would consider getting cable would be for certain sporting events, but one of the reasons I dropped cable quite a while ago was because they were blacking out sporting events that are nowhere near driving distance from where I live, and I felt like that wasn't really fair. I can understand why they black them out within a couple hour radius of a stadium, trying to get people to buy tickets and things like that, but you know, that was kind of one of the things that kind of turned me away from cable. But what I'm watching outside of Netflix, occasionally I buy shows on Amazon.com or on Google Play, and what I bought this last week, well, I've been buying it for a while, is Fear of the Walking Dead. I buy it episode by episode. That was a really good episode last week. It would have been the one that I believe premiered on October 4th, and I thought that was the best Fear of the Walking Dead episode so far. Some of the things, and there are spoilers from this point on about Fear of the Walking Dead, so if you haven't seen it, that's probably all I'm going to talk about for the rest of this video, so spoiler alert, leave if you don't want to hear about Fear of the Walking Dead. But anyway, one of the things that I like in general about, I still like the original series better, you know, Walking Dead. The cast, I like a little bit better on the original series. I do think they have a good cast for this Fear of the Walking Dead. Their way of handling it seems a little bit different. They seem to pick up on battling the zombies quicker, which I thought might have almost been a flaw of the show. Like, they don't seem to be as afraid of them, and they seem to get right into battling them a lot faster, and it's more like the way regular Walking Dead, the original show was after a few seasons. So I think since the show is supposed to be about the outbreak, earlier on in the outbreak, I feel like maybe they should have made them a little more afraid of the zombies and a little less proficient at dealing with them. Like, I felt like they're just a little too good. Like, they already know it's supposed to be a head shot versus body, which is something that took the original show, you know, cast or whatever, those original characters took longer, you know, or maybe not longer, but it just seems like they were experts, like they had been watching the original show, which I don't know, it seems like they had more knowledge that they really wouldn't have had privilege to have. So They also found out about some of the secrets that the other shows characters didn't find out about right away, and that is probably reasonable that certain groups of people might find out certain things faster than others. That I could see. There were some shocking events in this last episode. So, oh, by the way, I have WoW in the background, if anyone's wondering what that noise is. But, I thought it was good, and I like that they're talking like they're gonna head for the water. I don't know if they'll actually do it, but heading for the ocean or getting on a boat was something that I would always wanted the original show to tackle, because I thought it would be a good survival strategy. But at least maybe they'd have to leave the island from time to time, or the other land area, but I always thought that was a potentially safe place for them to go. Although I guess that would kill the show, because if they're safe, then there's no point. But it's interesting that they're heading for the ocean. We'll see if they actually go on the boat. That scenery at the end was kind of interesting. I don't think that was a real place, but if it was, that beach with all the concrete slabs was kind of interesting. So I thought scenery's pretty cool. It didn't really, seriously did not look like a real place, but maybe aspects of that are related to something real. If there is a place like that, put it in the comments if you know about it, or even if it's based partially on a place with that kind of thing. And then the other thing, trying to think about Fear the Walking Dead. Well, this is the release night of... I'm basically making this video when the premiere of the regular Walking Dead series is going to start, so for season 6, so I'll be talking about that probably in my next video. But that's pretty much it. Since this is my first review video, I'm going to go back and I'll just mention a couple other things about some things that I've bought in the past. Like, in the last couple of months from Google Play, I bought How to Train Your Dragon 2, The Great Gatsby, and Mad Max Fury Road, and I loved Fury Road at the theater. The copy I got on Google Play is regular, it's not high definition, and since it was 3D when I saw it at the theater, I never really put a lot of stock into 3D, or, but we do get it, take the option of watching it in 3D, but I did think the movie looked better in the theater, but it might just be that it was, kind of pixelating, maybe the quality wasn't that great during that particular playback. Our internet was kind of acting up when I watched it, and I've only watched it once since I bought it. And it was $14.99, which was... I would have probably rather waited, but I couldn't. For some reason, I couldn't wait to get that one. And then The Great Gatsby I got a couple of months ago, and I thought that was a good movie to watch. It's not... I don't love it. It's not... I like Leonardo DiCaprio movies, and I wouldn't say that was one of my favorites. I've read the book. I've seen the older 60s, 70s, I think it was the early 70s version of The Great Gatsby, and it's kind of funny to see how a time that a movie's made in, the era that the movie's made in, can affect the portrayal of the story so much, because I thought, obviously the one in the 70s was so innocent and kind of didn't get into the nitty-gritty of the story, and I don't remember the book being... I read the book a long time ago, and I don't remember the book being as gritty as this newer movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, but I did think it was worth watching, and for some people it might be a movie they would love. So it's not like I'm knocking the movie at all. It does have some interesting visual techniques, and they use CGI and some really interesting editing techniques, but like I said, it's not one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movies. I liked Wolf of Wall Street a lot better as one of his more recent movies, and one of my all-time favorites. I like things like Gangs in New York for some of his older stuff, and like Basketball Diaries and things like that. But the How to Train Your Dragon 2 is adorable. I recommend it for both kids and adults. I think it's well worth owning, and I was really surprised. I hadn't seen the movie until I bought it on Google Play, and I was really I got it in HD. I think it just comes in HD. I don't think there's an option to buy it in standard. But what I loved is that they really didn't cut that short. It wasn't an hour and a half, in the length. It was a really good value. It was almost kind of a long movie for animation, for an animated movie. So I was impressed with that one. The story, it was probably almost better than the first one, which is very surprising for a animated sequel. Usually they seem kind of cookie cutter, whatever, produced without a lot of effort, or maybe it takes a lot of work, but they don't seem to care as much about the story. So I was really impressed with that movie, and that's about it. Next week's review won't be this long, but I did want to keep, maybe I'll probably take it up a notch on the video aspect of this, and I might just eventually make a video to put this audio over for YouTube instead of having it be a camera looking at a paper and just me talking. But I am not really ever willing to go on camera. I'm never gonna go on camera, so I'd rather just do it this way. And so that was my review. I hope you find good things to watch on Netflix and other similar channels. And I do want to also mention that we have a Roku, which kind of changes things up a bit. We have like a ton of channels that you can add to your Roku, and so there's other stations that I might review or mention. There's usually kind of funny content on those, though. They're like really old kung fu movies or really old monster movies, but sometimes you find some pretty funny or interesting stuff, so maybe I'll mention those from time to time as well. And I do recommend the Roku 2 is what we have, or better, because they're just amazing little devices. I mean, other people might like theirs. They're different sort of TV, I don't know what you want to call it, broadcasting device. It probably has a better name than that, but I like the Roku. So I'm not going to mention, and I also decided in these reviews, I don't think I'm going to mention the shows that I don't like, because I don't want to just sound like I'm griping or disliking the shows. All I will say is that one thing I wish Netflix, if they just so happen to watch my sort of low-budget production video here, is one thing I wish they would change was how they figure out your analytics for what to watch, because for some reason my whole family watches my channel, because there's no way to change it on a Roku to some other family member's channel, so everyone watches mine. And then I basically, my analytics are all messed up, and my channel recommends all these really silly things that don't apply to me at all. And so one thing I wish that they would do is give you the option to look at what everybody sees and not your suggestions, because I think sometimes they'll even like integrate, I can tell they're even integrating in my Google searches or something, and I don't search everything on Google because it relates to me. Some things that I look up on Google have absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm trying to find out, some information about something, and because I saw it, in a book or something like that. So I'm really kind of annoyed that Google thinks that just because you search something that it means that you love it or that you like it even. so, or interested in it. So that's my little review. Hopefully my graphics, like I said, will get a little bit better. But I just wanted to get this out there because I find it hard to find things to watch sometimes. So put your comments below if you have suggestions as well. Thank you for watching.